Hello everyone, and welcome to updates on the 21st of November 2023. So last night we saw clear skies over most areas. The towards dawn it did cloud over from the west, but this cloud was mainly high clouds, so it's actually quite a cool night, especially in parts of the east and south. Today Tuesday we'll see hazy sunshine in the morning before sunshine sort of dies out through the day, but some hazy spells could still poke through the clouds at times on Tuesday, especially in the east and south. Further north and west, I think that cloud will lower through the day, and it'll be overcast by afternoon. Into Tuesday evening, we see overcast skies over many areas, lasting into the small hours of Wednesday morning. By 5 a.m. on Wednesday, we will see some drizzle moving into the west and northwest. On Wednesday, we see some drizzle moving into the west and southwest, and possibly also edging into the south as well on Wednesday afternoon. Elsewhere, quite cloudy, but a few breaks may occur in parts of the Midlands and east and north. Then we go to Thursday, or Wednesday night and Thursday morning. We see some light rain and drizzle in parts of Ulster, especially. Then we see this line of quite heavy rain, for like very briefly heavy rain, moving south into Ulster Thursday morning, and this fragments and turns lighter into Thursday afternoon, but moves southwards over Ulster and down into North Connacht and North Leinster. This is the cold front, and it's pretty much nothing by the time it reaches the south. But behind this area of cloud and light rain, we see northerly winds. Now, there is definitely uncertainty about the timing, intensity, and the duration of this cold spell or cold snap. But on this run, we see a brief shot of colder air into this area of high pressure, and it goes cold for a time, but quite quickly, a westerly comes around this. So 3 p.m. Friday, temperatures about 6 to 10 degrees, coldest in the north and east. Friday night, it sees a frost where skies are clearest, in the northeast especially, below freezing. Let's say in the west and south, between about 2 and 5 degrees. And Saturday is quite a cold day, especially in the north, about 4 degrees there, up to 9 degrees in Kerry. But the UK is further east. So therefore it's closer to this northern shot. It all depends on how far northwest this area of high pressure moves. That will determine the intensity and duration of this cold spell. But I'd definitely say that we're in for some frost anyway. The first sharp frost of the season, quite widely into the weekends. This is the GEFS NAO index observed and forecasted. So the NAO basically measures pressure between the Azores and Iceland. If it's a positive NAO, we have a low over Iceland and the high over the Azores coming towards Ireland, and that maintains the zonal westerly mild flow. In a negative phase, we have a blocking area of high pressure over Iceland and Greenland, while we have low pressure shifted southwards towards the Azores, areas like that, and that leads to our cold snaps and cold spells in the winter time. So we can see that we're moving towards a positive spell of the NAO over the next few days. That is as we see an anticyclone sit just to the southwest, and that keeps us mild and quite dry. Also, low pressure towards Iceland, Scandinavia as well. So, classic westerly zonal flow. Then we drop to neutral to negative. This is the average, the ensemble mean. Each red line is each run of the GEFS, and they all show different things. They range from about an index of 1 to an index of -2 or -3. So there's a lot of scatter, but on average, we go slightly negative. And that does show that the majority of the ensembles do have the blocking forming over Iceland and Greenland, and therefore we'll see some form of cold weather coming, be it just frost and fog and crisp sunshine, or something more. We are likely to see something chilly. The first cold snap of the season. This is the GFS 12Z, so if you just scroll through this, we can see that we have that chunky area of high pressure to our southwest tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. That keeps the wind in from that mild westerly direction. It'll be quite cloudy on Wednesday and Thursday, it has to be said, quite dreary with drizzle, especially in the west and north. Then we see this ridging towards Greenland, and we managed to ridge the high pressure towards Greenland and Iceland quite stably. So actually, we see a northerly shots. We're quite close to the edge of it, but I think we do get some cold air with that, with definitely frost at nights, some wintry showers on the north coast, I'd say. Beyond that, we see the high pressure sticking around Iceland, and actually winds coming in from the east or northeast beyond this. So on Monday next week, we've got easterly winds and an area of low pressure to the south. I'd say the fronts with that are too far south for rainfall or snowfall over us, but still wintry showers quite widely with that, especially in the east and south. Then the high pressure comes down over us. That brings a lot of frost and fog. It's building into a very cold air mass. Beyond that, I think we get some moderation to the cold as we just see the air coming in from the Atlantic a bit more, but still frosty with that possibly, unless we see some cloud cover. Into December, then we see the high pressure centering towards Greenland, and again down comes this northerly, or even a northeasterly flow, and that goes really cold and wintry there for a time before the high goes south, and we see a westerly wind come back. And by the 6th of December, we are zonal with high to the south, low to the north, positive NAO, westerly or southwesterly, and mild. So that was quite an interesting GFS run. This is the ECM WF 12Z run. These ads. Okay, so again, today we had quite a strong, or yesterday, we had quite a strong gusty northerly winds. Today we're seeing this little ridge come southwards, bringing quite a nice day actually, especially to the east and south, with hazy sunshine. Then we've got that high pressure to our southwest, Wednesday and Thursday, also a deep low towards Greenland and Scandinavia. This helps keep a mild westerly flow come in, quite cloudy as well, quite horrible, a bit dreary, but at least it's drying out. Into Friday, we see the high ridge northwards towards Iceland, but upper air temperatures keep the cold air to our east. The cold air does come to the north and east, yes, but only briefly in terms of upper air temperatures. I'd say on the surface, it'll be colder than these temperatures suggest, because it's high pressure, clear skies, and a northerly wind into the high pressure will mean that it'll be a cold high, meaning that we'll see a lot of sharp frosts with that and crisp autumn days towards early winter actually. Then we see quite a messy scenario. We see a little ridge towards Iceland, also to our south, deep low towards Canada, a little low to our northwest on Saturday. Then we see this little low just sort of come towards us, dying out as it does so, then moving eastwards. Then this low forms over Germany and Denmark, and what happens is we go, that goes away. It's not very flabby, but then this ridge forms to our west, and it goes to our north, and we start dragging in this northerly flow again. So actually, it goes colder towards the end of the month on the ECM. Upper temperatures, yeah, we see colder we see cold air from the north. So despite the fact that you know it doesn't get that cold over the weekends with in terms of upper temperatures, probably probably would be very cold with frost actually in reality. You know, it looks like we're going westerly, but no, we actually see some blocking forming and therefore cold weather. So it's all very flabby, all very flimsy, all very uncertain. As ever with cold weather, it's always uncertain. It's never straightforward. Never. Okay, so I mean, here's the UK Met run. So westerly winds into Wednesday and Thursday, very mild, quite dry. That's all westerly. Friday, we see this ridge moving towards Iceland. It centers between us and Iceland actually. So we see frost with that, but not desperately cold northerly winds. After that, we see the ridge go southwards. And what happens then? We see a little trough move southwards through here, all very messy, but not really any blocking. So I think that after this goes southwards, this ridge, unless it goes northwards, will allow this westerly to come through. But I mean, the GFS, I mean the ECM, did look as though we go westerly, but then all of a sudden this ridge went northwards, got stronger, and down came that northerly winds. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's all. I mean, after I say Friday, the pressure patterns all get very flimsy. Nothing is really that clear. Little troughs randomly, little ridges. It's all very flimsy, all quite weak, and the little system, like any random bridge or trough that suddenly intensifies will be the dominant feature, and where it goes, that will play a huge part in determining whether we get a second cold shot after the one coming up the weekends, or whether we just go miles. You see what I mean? I mean, these charts are looking quite flimsy. I'll show you in seconds. Okay, so this is the GEM run. So we see this ridge coming in on Tuesday, and beyond that we see straightforwardly that ridge to the south. Then here we go. High over Iceland on Friday. We see a cold shot with that, frost and fog and whatnot. I go southwards. Sunday. Then we see the high to the south. Straightforward enough. Monday and Tuesday. And actually I think we don't see much of anything. No. The GEM is straightforwardly mild. Again, it adds to the range of options on the cards. It's a big headache. And all we can do is actually just try and analyze these models, make comparisons, and so on. So here we go. Icon. High to the south, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Cool. Straightforward. Mild, dry. Okay. Cloudy at times. Friday. High over Iceland. I think all models are showing the high ridging northwards. That is a tick. It'll go north, but how far north? The icon has it bring a cold wind from the north with frosts, a lot of frost with that, but also nice sunshine. This is what I meant by flimsy. You have a ridge here over the Faroe Islands, then a trough to our west, just south of the ridge, and then the ridge over the Azores. It's all very messy. Nothing's that strong. All very weak systems. So whatever it is that suddenly blows up, this, or this, will be the thing that just dominates the weather. If this blows up, then mild weather will come. If this blows up, then it'll go wet. If this blows up, we'll see a cold wind. That's what I meant earlier. Okay, so in the end, I think we see the high blowing up and moving southwards. Therefore, we see frost and fog, but probably in the end, mild weather if it keeps going southwards. I hope it makes sense to you because it's pretty strange. Anyway, bye for now. Thanks for watching.